Ой, бля, вот это прям пиздец, тут больно. Ой. Yeah, some of this is painful, unfortunately. Not much, but still. So basically, this wave going through your muscles, and these muscles like have tightness or something else, and with the help of these waves, you can break them down. That's why sometimes it's painful, because it hits like your worst spots, I would say. And my back is very stiff, and like that's the whole body pretty much. So like I have to work on every single muscle problem. Besides my arms are very mobile. Even when I woke up after surgery, like my upper body was doing pretty well, but my lower body not so well. So. Yesterday I felt very good, and I guess that's like one of the latest innovations in medicine, and he has it. Seems like helps a lot. I didn't feel any pain yesterday until I went to bed. Ой, блин. So this is like a magnet therapy. It's kind of the same principle. It creates waves, and waves going through your muscles, and you basically can make it stronger and stronger, and you're getting used to this pain. So like at first, let's say he starts from 5%, and it doesn't hurt that much, but let's say it does, and like I wait for a few minutes and it gets better, and then he can increase the power, so it gets stronger and stronger and can get deeper and deeper into your muscles.
Еще подними, пожалуйста. Все, пускай.
Just chill, relax, and I guess don't think about much, which is very pleasant. But sometimes he is really trying to break me with his like movement situations, when he is bending my legs and knees and my hips. Yeah, that freaking hurts a lot. What he's using now, it's something like это что-то с электричеством, да?
Не надо про электричество, я тебе скидывал, как правильно говорить.
It's called the car therapy, which still like is using some sort of power, and it gets warmer and warmer, but not because the equipment itself is heating up. It's because like your body is getting used to it, and your muscles kind of warmed up, and they feel this like energy more and more. So eventually it gets really hot, and when it's really hot, you have to stop. So it's like a end point. I don't know much about all this shit. He knows way more, but he doesn't speak English, so that's the downside for this video right now. You know, my bicycle was smashed completely. I don't have one anymore. And unfortunately, just because I'm a poor guy from Siberia, I decided not to waste my money on bicycle insurance. Even though I really wanted to buy it maybe like months before the accident happened, but I just bailed on that. Of course, I cannot say I regret, like it is what it is, but yeah, it sucks. So I advise everyone to get a freaking $30 bicycle insurance. It's worth it. Literally, if you like crack your frame, the whole bike will be replaced, and not by another bike, but they will pay you cash, like full price of your bicycle. It's amazing. First time I opened my eyes, and when I saw the bicyclist in front of me after like I was hit by a car, first question I asked him, how was the bike, and he said there is no bike anymore, and I figured right away that probably I was hit from behind, and I was like, no, come on, like the front wheel is probably still alive. And he looked at the side and he was like, yeah, front wheel is okay. And I was like, okay, I can sell it for $500. But yeah, bike was smashed completely. I haven't seen it since the accident yet, but police has it as an evidence, I guess. Oi, it's all funny stuff.
Я с канистрами возьму. Ты очень хорошо слышишь. Я вообще отлично.
Я говорю, вчера мне прям, блядь, я вчера прям...
Слышь, вчера мы раз...
Ауч.
Короче, она прям вообще
Куда
ушла.
ты нажимаешь, что все равно, сука, больно.
Но прикинь, она стала болеть, она ж не болела.
And I have a follow-up appointment with my surgeon after 3 months. I had 1 month later, or maybe 6 weeks. Didn't get too many insights, but he said that like just because I have very, how you say it, like dense, high density of my bones, and like I'm an athlete, and I have just my body was in a great condition. Like the surgery went like very well, despite the fact that I had a burst fracture. Basically, when you like your vertebra crushes in pieces, they put it all together. And he said if I would be like someone else, probably I wouldn't be walking. But yeah, maybe on a third day or second day after I woke up of the surgery, I could feel everything pretty much. I mean, like in my lower limbs, I could move my toes and my feet, everything. Couldn't lift them very high, but yeah, so it's a very steady and slow progress over the time. And yeah, now we schedule another appointment with this guy. Hopefully it's gonna be more interesting than the last time. Let me see. For those who wants to follow me in Russian language, here's the page. For those who wants to follow me in English language, this is the page. Fun stuff. Telling my story little by little, day by day. How it happened, what happened, and eventually we're gonna talk about how the guy from Siberia came to US and why, all the reasons. In my garage, motherfucker. So my pelvic muscles, they very numb, and I still don't do number 1 and number 2 in the restroom by myself, so I'm helping myself, let's say it this way. And everything what is close to my glutes is very sensitive. So every time he goes with the freaking Terragun, yeah, I'm not feeling my best, let's say. Initially getting used to it, so it's not too bad. Камера опять бакс,
За 3 можно поменять, я знаю где.
Hello? Yeah, it's me. Until 15, but then I'm coming back to LA again. I'm comfortable, I just really want him to take a look in general, because I still have ongoing issues. It's a call from Stanford. Тут начинаются прелести.
Слушай, мы прошли хотя бы 90 градусов сразу же.
Хорошо.
Как при схватках короткими.
Серьезно? Или шутишь? Шутки шуткуешь, бля.
Ну не мне ж ногу растягивать.
Ау, 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 ау.
Сразу видно, что никогда не делает.
Thursday the 20th. So you offering me Thursday 22nd on video, or you offering me 28th of...
For video, we can do it sooner, on Thursday the 22nd.
But if I want to see him in person, it's only on 28th.
Well, no, he's going to talk to you for during this visit, and then we're going to plan for afterwards for in person. But he said he wants to talk to you first.
Okay, okay.
Your insurance, we need to see you through video, since you are still in LA.
Okay, yeah, 22nd works, yeah, for sure.
Okay, can I do it at either 10:15 or 2:30?
10:15 is fine.
Okay. Perfect.
Will you send me a reminder?
Yes, I sure will.
Sounds good.
All right. And then you'll see the appointment details on your MyHealth right now.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Блять, больно нахуй. He's torturing me on purpose. That 3 months is very soon for any kind of big improvements. But I'm very impatient in this kind of things. So I expected to run a month ago to be able to run. Ouch, ouch, блять. And yeah, another fun thing is that I'm gonna see surgeon by a video call, which is like so strange to me. Like it's a surgeon, he has to see like what's happening on my back, like all swollenness and там колено сейчас лопнет нахуй.
Да ладно, что не лопнет.
Ну вот я чувствую, что лопается. Его просто выгнуть разочек. Все. Можешь продолжать. And yeah, like last time I talked to my surgeon, it was 2 months ago. Ouch, 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 блять. And it was by the video, and like 2 months later, it's by the video again. It's just so weird to me. Чё делаем?
Разворачиваемся.
Okay, now face up.
Иисусик. Чё ногу закинуть?
Не, ну с прямым я так в принципе не делал, блять, колено.
Я знаю, что ты так не делал.
Когда живой был, я имею.
Судя по твоим мышцам, у тебя они вообще были в жопе. Ты только на сердце, вот как ты сказал, все делал.
He's always cheating on me that like my muscles just in terrible conditions. Not in terms of like endurance or strength or anything like that. It's just not flexible. Like he can tell that I never did any massages. I didn't do any kind of physical therapy or anything like that. Just mobility. Ouch. Блядь. So he's giving me a hard time. Tell me how bad I am. Ну ты что-то уже все разошелся, уважаемый.
Ну, тут с прямой коленочкой. Сейчас можем коленку чуть согнуть и пойти еще дальше.
Давай, согнуть могу.
Видишь, колен просто растяжки нет у тебя ни
Нет.
хрена. Она тебя сейчас может...
Слушай, до пола достаю локтями, блядь, с прямыми ногами. Почти локтями. Там сантиметров 90 не
Все,
хватает.
да, вот стоп.
Да, нормально.
Теперь назад, выпрямляемся.
Не скажу, что приятно, блядь. Ой.
Тут же тянет больше.
Да, под колено все.
Ну и все, блядь, главное не спиной. Поехали. Президентский полк тебе отдадим, чтобы ты на шпагат не сидел.
Что это за хуй? Что это такое?
Президентский полк это где марширует возле мавзолея.
А, да, нихуя, у них там натуре растяжка.
Ну, в жопу. Это пусть отдохнет.
Хочу увидеть нога. Я не хочу подбородок поднимать. То тогда вообще растяжкой будет, ебанешься. Окей, больно, больно, пиздец уже. Что-то в жопе.
Все, хватит на сегодня.
Хватит. We're done. Enough is enough. Сейчас, погоди. Перекурю секунду. Unfortunately, I'm not shaved, so picture is not gonna be as clear. Ой. У тебя в натуре галлон по вазелину.
Я тебе шутил. Я человек запасливый.
That's my brace. Make sure I don't break my back again. Just by accident. And now, so everybody knows Tim Shepard. He's the guy who showed me the way how to become a triathlete.
Да, Димон, алло. Ну, сейчас мы вот Ну, понятно. Ну, ладно, давай тогда, как успеешь. Давай.
Чего, проблемы?
Да не, он распиздос просто.
Чего?
Да,
Ты
Диман, он...
скажи, что по времени?
Не, все нормально, у меня все, заебись.
Он сейчас доедет?
Он со мной доедет.
Все нормально.
Все нормально, да, не переживай.
Все, хорошо.
Все, спасибо.
Все.
До завтра.
До завтра.
2.
2 часа. Да.
Опа. Опа. Пам. Пам. No problem, first floor. Actually, I'll eat both. Fuck it. Today's a good day, actually. You know, I met my friend Jay, who has helped me to film this video. I was very excited. I was looking forward to it. And from what I noticed and my experience within like last 3 months, every time I'm excited or like I have endorphins in my body, it gets a little bit better with the pain. And when I'm bored, like all that I can think about and focus on is pain. And sometimes it's worse than other days. So today's a pretty good day. No complaints. And we came back after rehab. Rehab helps a lot. Like it loosens up your body muscles. I feel a little bit more mobile and just like I said, not too much pain. And it's all about pain during this period of recovery. I'm not even worried that I'll be able to walk and ride the bike and everything. I'm not excited about pain. The future doesn't seem bright at this point. Like I wouldn't say that I'm 110% confident about what's gonna be in the future and how I will be in like 6 months or 12 months. But when I woke up after surgery, I remember my mom called me and she was the one who freaked out the most, of course, because I haven't seen her for so many years and she's so far away and she cannot come and be next to me. I remember my mom, like, I got in like way worse shit in my life. I'm sure I'll get out of it as well. And of course, I didn't think about complications that can pop up later, and they did, unfortunately. But I just want to stay positive. You know, it's a lot of things about this world is about mindset. About mindset, and I think I have to keep up with my good spirit as well. Like that's all within my control, you know. But what else? What else can I do? Find doctors, like find, I don't know, do meditation, like take care of my food and my daily routine, like all these things. But it's all under my control. And of course, if I'm gonna tell myself that like you screwed, dude, you're gonna get fucked and like nothing is going better and nothing is gonna get better, probably it won't, you know. So even if that's the outcome, I don't wanna spend my next 12 months thinking that it's gonna be bad, you know. At least I'll think that it's gonna be fine. If I'll be completely honest about my daily schedule, not everything is bright and shiny as I would like it to be. But initially I planned that I'm gonna get up very early and go to bed a little bit earlier, but due to my restroom inconsistency, I would say, I have to be on a very strict schedule, regimen. And one of those things, like I have to make sure my bladder is empty every like 4 to 5 hours. And unfortunately, I cannot empty it myself. I have to use catheter. So like every 4 or 5 hours, I have a reminder on my phone because I don't feel, when I'm full, I don't feel the urge to go to the restroom. So I have to use catheter and make sure it doesn't explode in my body. Otherwise, it's gonna be a completely different story. Same about my number 2, like it was every morning before, like I would go to the restroom before workouts, whenever I wake up, I just go and take a dump, let's call it this way. But now it's not as fun. I have to help myself out to go to the restroom and make sure I'm clean and use enema and use gloves and sit on the toilet and try to push, and I cannot push because like my whole pelvic is feeling pain every time I put some pressure over there. But that's how it is. So that's the biggest change in my schedule and daily routine. But I changed my diet completely. My guts don't digest very well either. so I have to make sure that I'm eating very digestible food, and it's nothing like a dough or pizza or pasta, which is of course very disappointing because all of us like it a lot. And I changed my diet, I changed my toilet regimen. Of course, my activities are different right now. It all depends on how I feel in the morning, and if it's a lot of pain, I limit myself. If it's not, I'm doing completely different things. And for example, when I was discharged from the acute rehab, I went home, and my probably first 10 days, my goal was like 300 meters, like 400 yards probably every single day, like just with this walking sticks, for mountain runs, whatever, how you call them, I don't know. Anyway, I was helping myself with the sticks. Then I came back home. I was living with the parents at first. They helped me a lot, but I couldn't even take a shower by myself. So I always needed someone to basically stand there and wait for me while I'm taking shower, wash my back or something. I couldn't bend or anything. I couldn't wash my legs. I couldn't really clean anything like below my waist. And then like drying myself using a towel, that was a torture as well, like all these things. And little by little they were coming back. And initially when I left my girlfriend's parents' house, we went back home with my girlfriend to our house, and every morning I was able to walk 2 to 3 miles. I would get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, have some tea and go for a walk. Months later it all changed because like incredible amount of pain came back into my tailbone. It was so bad initially that I couldn't even like lay down. I was shaking from pain and nothing helped, like no medications or painkillers or anything. Yeah, and like I'm very skeptical about meditation as well, even though like everybody already told me I must do it. I'm still very skeptical, and seems like I'll get there at some point. I can see it, that it's coming, and there is no escape from like all treatments that you can basically afford and you can do for yourself. And like I said before, mindset, all what we need, and meditation helps. So right now, waking up, going to shower, cleaning myself, making sure I emptied my bladder, have a breakfast, morning routine, something like I'm taking care of my Instagram or YouTube, or all these small things, filming, audio, video, probably take a nap because I'm getting tired very quickly. It's not like I used to bike for 6 hours, a little bit different now, but yeah, by the time it's like 4, 5 p.m., another bladder again, like cooking food, preparing food if I can. If I cannot stand, my girlfriend helps me out. And read, like, I don't know, watch something, just entertain a little bit, because not so many fun things left for me, because the only thing I really liked, it was sport, of course, and now it was taken away for some period of time, hopefully. We came back September, October, November. We were living in upstate New York because my girlfriend, she owns the restaurant over there. She went to school, Cornell University, and she decided to open a restaurant right after she graduated. And she had some issues she had to take care of because she has a partner who she's working with, and physically he's there, and mentally she's here. Like she's helping him out with like all sort of papers and like everything what she can do on the laptop. But we had to come back, and we lived in upstate New York. It's Attica, so we lived there. It's pretty cold. It's not the most beautiful town in the world. It's winter over there. It's not California, obviously. So I was training really hard for like 2 months. I was all about training. I didn't have a job. I quit my job here. I stopped coaching kids. Basically, like she needed me there, so I went with her. And for 2 months, 3 months, I was training like a motherfucker. Like, I don't know how else I should call it, but very hard, very consistently, like, I don't know, paying too much attention to all details and trying to figure out, like, planning for the next season, how it's gonna be. We came back for Thanksgiving, or like for 3-4 days trip back and forth. Basically came back here to see family. We had 23rd it was Thanksgiving, and next morning I woke up. I decided that I wanna go for a ride. From parents' house, I drove to my girlfriend's, our house, took a bike, had lunch. It was a nice day outside, very sunny, and like, more thing. The more I think about it, the more I understand it, it was meant to be. I took a bike, I went for a ride. Like at some point I decided to switch my course. I took a different road, different way. First time ever I decided to stop at the small cafeteria and have some coffee. I've never done it before. Like I never stopped at that place. I never drank coffee over there, so I decided to chill for 5-10 minutes. I'm taking videos, like just enjoying my day, everything was pretty slow. And again, like I took this road a lot of times, like 100 times at least. So it wasn't anything new, but I just changed my mind like an hour before that, And I'm going uphill, taking a right turn on the freeway, and maybe 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds later, blink, and like I was on my earphones, I was on aero bars on my TT bike, my freaking expensive TT bike, and bam, everything like just dark. So I don't remember how it hit me. I didn't see the driver, he was behind. And when I opened my eyes, I see another cyclist in front of me. And I saw him 5 minutes before that, when I turned on the freeway, I saw him on the left side from me. So I waved, like some, I don't know, being welcome to other cyclists, how it happens on the roads. And he's in front of me, and I was like, what happened? What happened? He said, you were hit by a car. And I was like, I always told everybody, if I can stand up, it's all fine. Like, it doesn't matter how, like, if you break anything, like, you're good. If you cannot stand up, you're probably screwed. And at that moment, I couldn't stand up. I felt like, okay, something is happening. I still felt my body everywhere, like my feet, my legs, my arms. But I figured that, like, I cannot get up. And my second question was, what happened with the bike? Where's the bike? Because I knew it's expensive, and like I don't have insurance. I was very scared about that. And he said, you don't have bike anymore. And I said, no way, like for sure front wheel is okay, because I figured the driver hit me from behind. And he said, okay, front wheel is all right. And then he asked me who should we call, and I said, call Jackie. So he took my phone, he unlocked my phone with my face, obviously, and called Jackie. And like, I started to cry very little, held myself as much as I could. And I said, like, I was hit by a car. And before that, like that morning, we had an argument. So like maybe she wasn't happy to pick up the phone, but she did, of course. And she was like, what's up? And I said, Jackie, I was hit by a car. And I started to cry, and like the cyclist, he took phone away from me, and he was talking to her, basically explaining what happened and what's gonna happen next. When he was done, I asked him to take my helmet off and put me on my side. So he turned me on my side, and I could see the car on fire. Car was on fire, like it was smashed completely. Trees were on fire. So it was a big accident, and I could see that they were pulling out the guy from the car, the driver. And I think at that moment he was already dead. And then I realized, like, yeah, I'm fucked. That nothing good is gonna come out of this. And then ambulance, rode to the closest firefighting station, helicopter, and the hospital. Yeah, even there, like I was happy to take a trip on a helicopter. They put me kind of in the trunk, and I couldn't see anything besides the freaking wall, but I knew I'm on a helicopter. From what I felt when I woke up and when I talked to the doctors at the first time, I thought they're just gonna say whatever they need to say at that moment, because like you don't want to hear, oh dude, you're never gonna walk, or like you like screwed completely, And they said your biggest advantage is that you're 30 years old, that you're young, that you're a freaking athlete, you're like pro athlete, and your body is strong, your bones very robust, so it seems like you're gonna be fine, and like we expect like you to be fully recovered eventually. And I had catheter, it's called the Foley catheter. So basically you have a bag where all your urine goes, and I already had it before, so I wasn't really worried about it, like it is what it is. And yeah, that's what they told me, like they said, you're gonna be fine no matter what, like again, you're young, you're 30 years old, all good. If you are 60, that would be a completely different story. But when they took catheters out, and when it was the third day, by the third day, I felt really bad. And yeah, it changed my world, turned upside down completely when I figured other complications in my body. When I woke up, they gave me, I had the morphine button. So like that's a freaking opioid, and very strong one. and I was hitting it non-stop. I figured later that they have like a dosage limit, and if you press 20 times, 21st just not gonna work. But like placebo, you know, you think you're still doing it and it works. I figured that if I'm gonna press like few times, I'm gonna fall asleep, and I just wanted to sleep through all of this, you know. And at that point, you don't think straight, you don't like, you know, analyze things in the right way. And now I know, and I always knew before, opioids, they're gonna affect your guts, they're gonna affect your bladders, they're gonna stop all this crap, it's not gonna work, and that's why all drug addicted people so teeny and tiny, because it just doesn't work for them. Digestion situation. And when I woke up, I don't remember being in a lot of pain, but I remember being out of it completely. My girlfriend was sleeping on the couch like all this time, she never left the room, you know. I had nurses around, I had this Foley catheter, I see that like I'm all in this equipment, like wires from everywhere, you know, catheters, like other, I don't know, needles, like everything. Like I was just hooked up to all this crazy equipment in the hospital. I couldn't even move on the side, like I couldn't like turn myself, so I needed like help. Hey, like Jackie, can you lift my knees, you know? And she would like pull my knees, and I would pull myself to the side because my body was just, I don't know, complete nuts. It didn't move, it didn't work. I could feel everything. First things they asked me to do, like to move my fingers, my toes. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, I can feel it, like I'm good. I cannot feel anything here below my waist in my like pelvic area. But it seems like they didn't worry about that too much. And later on, they switched me to nerves painkillers, which like relaxes your nerve system. Let's say it this way. It's called gabapentin, and of course they gave me the stronger painkiller, oxycodone. And during the day, like every 6 hours, I was taking like 5-10 milligrams of oxycodone, and I was fine. I wouldn't say like I had like like tremendous amount of pain in my back or anything. But yes, of course, like I remember first time standing up. That's a completely different story. And right now, I still have gabapentin. I have acetaminophen, which is like Advil, Tylenol, some variety. And once in a while, I take oxycodone if I really need to. If there is a long trip or flight, for example, I cannot sit for too long, like I'm doing right now. And yeah, on oxycodone, like I can handle those things. So every like 3-4 days, I just have to take it. When we got to the hospital, I was waiting in a room. I thought it was like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Jackie said I was waiting for like 7 hours. So time was like flying like this for me, not for them, obviously. But Jackie was allowed into the room, and she was next to me. She was almost crying, and I think she held herself like very bravely. So to not make me upset, because I was smiling. I was like, Jackie, it's fine. You know, I can talk, like I can move. It's all good. And they didn't allow me to drink any water. I was like thirsty as hell because I drank coffee. That's the last thing I drank before the accident. And then I was waiting for so long. And I knew that my ribs broken. I didn't know how many. Eventually it was 8, so 4 on the right side and 4 on the left side. And I can see the difference, how they end up, like healing. Left side looks a little bit off right now, but screw it, I don't care as long as it works. And I was waiting for the doctor. We did MRI, and of course like MRI would show everything. And when the doctor showed up, he was like, well, buddy, we have to do surgery. And that's not what I wanted to hear from him. And I was like, what exactly broken? He said it's a burst fracture of my lumbar fourth vertebra. So basically, like why it's burst, because it explodes from like compression, from heat, whatever it was. We still don't know how I fell. Nobody seen the full picture. I can imagine that I just flipped from the bike on my back. Yeah, burst fracture. Basically, I almost lost my fourth vertebra, my fourth lumbar vertebra. Let's call it L4. And they had to put pieces by piece together, and like it's called fusion surgery. When your fourth one, you fuse it between third and fifth to make sure it's kind of stable structure. So now I have like 3 vertebrae moving together pretty much. I don't know how flexible I'm gonna be in like 2-3 years in this particular spot, but hopefully it's gonna be fine. And yeah, you know, I didn't even have I had a single scratch on my left elbow, nothing else. No scratches, like no bruise, nothing. Eventually, I figured out that I had a huge hematoma in my left cuff, in my left leg, so my left leg is still not doing its best, but it's getting better. I just have to work on that. And it's hematoma. When it's internal hematoma, it takes way longer to get rid of it, to heal it. So this hematoma, burst fracture of my L4 and 8 ribs. And lucky me, I had helmet on, so this helmet. So basically, 8 ribs, burst fracture of L4, and huge hematoma in my left leg. And my helmet, I was lucky to have a helmet on. Thank God I changed my mind a few years ago and started to put on my head a helmet every single ride. And my helmet on the back side, it was just like completely broken. So if I wouldn't have it, it would be a completely different story right now. And yeah, I had surgery for another 5-6 hours. I think it was like 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning when they let me out of the room. I mean, put me in another room. They put me in the ICU. They called ICU, I think. And Jakey was there since then. You know, when I was 22, that was the first time I saw Ironman on TV. I was still in Russia, in Siberia, and like local news, and they were talking about Ironman competition. And I remember like every single workout would be like 5,000 to 6,000 meters for me. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, so like 10 to 12,000 meters, which is, let's say, 14,000 yards, 13,000 yards a day. And when I heard that you have to swim 4,000 meters first, then you have to ride on a bike 180 kilometers, like 112 miles, and then run a marathon, I just couldn't comprehend this idea. Like, how is it even possible that after my nearly like full swimming workout, you have to ride on a bike for me it seemed like it's gonna take 10 hours, and then I hear they do it for 4.5. I was like, what? And I remember I took my journal out and I wrote down that I want to do an Ironman before I turn 30. Thank God it happened. I'm 30 now, so I've been doing it for 2 years. But back then I was a swimmer. I was still in Russia. I was aiming for scholarship to come here to the US. Yeah, and at the age of 23, I got the scholarship. I came to California. I was still swimming, but on the back of my mind, I knew that I'll come to triathlon eventually. And you know, like, life is so uncertain. You don't know how it's gonna turn out and what you're gonna do tomorrow, honestly. Even if you have like long-term goals like I had for this year, even though you can call it short-term, I still had very huge goals and plans, and you know, everything changed like in a moment. And I graduated from school in Florida eventually and came back to California, started completely different life, started to work, was thinking about opening a business. I did actually. I opened a swimming school and started to coach kids, but you know, like from sport, I moved to coaching, which is still in the sport area, but just different approach of sport, you know. And one of my kids, his father, they're Armenians, and his father became a very good friend of mine. I told him like who I am and what I want, and I was like thinking about endurance sport, and he said, go find team shipper, this one. Go find the team shipper, like talk to the coach. And I kind of bailed on that, and months later he was like, Alexei, did you go? I was like, no, come on, like I'm asking you, just do me a favor, go and talk to them. And I remember I found their phone number on Google, and I was very like nervous to call. I don't know why, but from what I figured now, every time you're nervous, you gotta do it. Like maybe it's a life-changing decision if you're nervous, so something tells you that's the right one, you know, because it's a big commitment in front of you. And I remember coach assistant Mike, he picked up the phone, and I was like trying to amaze him how great I am as a swimmer, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking. And he was like, Alexei, right? I was like, yeah. Nobody cares about swimming in general, like in triathlon. It's not the longest leg, but... And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, you're gonna know what's up, you know, like you'll see, like swimmers don't matter. And yeah, I met the coach, Tim Shipper. We talked, and he helped me out a lot at first, at the beginning. He gave me a lot of equipment, like helmets, like bicycle, cycling jersey, shorts, shoes, old bike. It's a 30 years old bike. My first year, I spent only on this bike, which is like one of the first probably bikes, triathlon bikes ever. Was made in the 90s by the guy who is a friend of my coach. And yeah, I got so caught up with triathlon and community and just the, how would I say, like life scheduling and everything, just this routine. And I think that endurance mindset, that's what I have. I never give up on things I really wanted, and for me, I don't know why everything takes forever, like to achieve something or to get somewhere or to buy something, even like how simple it is, right? To buy something, it takes me forever to make money for it. It just, that's how it is, and I figured that like endurance sports, that's what I want to do. So I got into triathlon, and very quickly, maybe like 16 months later, I got my pro license, so I became a professional in triathlon. So last season was my first season being professional, and it went pretty well. I don't want to focus on like this one last race, because I feel like I had two in 3 weeks. I had two races. The first one was half Ironman in Santa Cruz, and I don't think I had the best preparation period for that, but I still like did as good as I could, and I finished like second out of like in absolute, how do you say, among all people over there, among all competitors. And I think that was a pretty good race, you know, like first time getting on the podium, even though I left. I thought as a pro, and we didn't have pro field, I won't be nominated for second place, and I was. Unfortunately, I left from the ceremony, but anyway, it was a cool experience to be in Santa Cruz, to have my friends such as Anton, you know, like other Russian community. Cool, just cool to be part of it. And half Ironman, we all know that it's a very famous, Ironman in general, it's a very famous brand of racing and triathlon, and it's just amazing to be part of it. And I think maybe 20 days later, even less, I went to Malibu for Malibu Tri. Very well, I would say it's well-known race here. And why it's well-known? Because they invite actors and actresses like from Hollywood or from somewhere else to compete and like gather money for kids, I think, for children, like who I need. And yeah, we came to Malibu, and it wasn't anything long. It was a very short race. Initially, it's supposed to be Olympic race, which is mile swim, 0.9 mile swim, 24 miles on a bike, 25 miles on a bike, and 6 miles run. They had to cut the course on the bike because of pretty much exactly 2 months before the accident. And we came to LA. I knew it's my last race of the season. I didn't plan for anything else. It had to be full Olympic distance, and unfortunately they had to cut the bike course a little bit short, twice, half as much as it's supposed to be. So instead of 24, it was 12 miles. Not super exciting for me, because I need longer stuff, especially longer swim, longer bike sounds good to me, and I like all three, so it doesn't matter, but yeah. On the swim, I think I swam around 17 minutes, like 1,500 meters, and the second guy was maybe like 3-4 minutes behind already. So after swim, if you have such a big gap, like it's nearly impossible to catch up with the guy in front of you. On the bike, we had, I think, 5 or 4 loops. Each one was like, 2.5-3 miles. Don't remember how many loops. And it started to rain, like poor rain, like very bad, and you had to be careful. And of course, they didn't want to slow down. So on your own risk, people screaming, slow down on the turn, slow down. It was a lot of people on the course. I was lucky just because after the swim, I was so far ahead that like first loop, maybe first 2 loops, I was just by myself. And then people start to add more and more, and we had more people by my last loop. I already had a lot of people on the course. And I remember I'm going like off the course to a transition zone, and guys screaming, no, like wrong way. I was like, I'm done, dude. Like, you know, like nobody expected me to get off the bike so quickly. And going through transition, start to run. It's pouring rain. I'm happy that it's raining. Like it's easier to run, to be honest, even though it was a lot of puddles around. All good. Last, you run 3 miles one way, that you have like a small loop, maybe it's like 500 yards, and then you have to come back. And no people around, you know, like we had few volunteers at the end of this 3 miles course, but not like on the small loop. So nobody knows if you really did it or not. Like they didn't have time checkpoints or anything like that. So I was honest in front of myself. I made sure that I'm gonna finish everything. And yes, I did that small loop. I finished the run. Run was like maybe 34 minutes. I don't remember the bike, but I remember swim 17, let's say 17:30. And run was around 34 minutes for the 6 miles course. and my girlfriend, she was filming, and on the camera you could hear, yeah, we're gonna expect our first finisher in about like 5 to 9 minutes. And 30 seconds later, I'm showing up, and he was like, oh, never mind, like the first guy is right here. So when I finished, they were able to take interview, to take pictures, to talk to me, like, you know, everything. And the second guy showed up. And a referee, he came to me, he was like, are you sure did you run that small loop? I was like, yes, I did. Like, I'm honest, you know, like I don't have anything to hide. So eventually, when I took a look at the protocol and results, I could see that second guy was about 5 minutes behind. And besides that, like when I checked his Strava, he didn't make this like small loop, so he ran like less than 6 miles, maybe 5.5, which gives another 3 minutes plus, you know, on the top of that. So I finished with the time of, I want to say 1:29, which I was happy, under 1:30, 1 hour 29 minutes. And yeah, was happy with the performance. It's a nice course. It was great water. Even though it was a lot of waves in the ocean, I still had like my best miles swim outside, you know, in the open water. And like I said, second guy was 5 minutes behind, third guy was even more, and I didn't really care, you know, like when I'm first and way far ahead of everyone after the swim, I feel very confident. Nice. So I'm happy to be a swimmer. What I know about myself, I'm a very impatient person. I want like things to just to go faster, and I hurry myself, I rush myself a lot, push myself forward. Maybe it's a good quality, maybe it's not. You never know at the end of the day. But now I'm more aware of taking things slowly. I know that now it's gonna hurt my body probably a little bit differently than it's used to. And before I didn't care about pain. I was just push hard, go hard. Like, you know, don't sleep, don't eat, just go train. And right now it's different. Right now I'm taking care of my body more, and by the time I'll come back, I'll do it even better, you know, like I'll be more aware of what is happening with my body, how I eat, how I sleep, how is my pain, what am I feeling, and all these questions, you know, I'll ask myself before I go and compete over there. And of course I understand that my first race not gonna be anything close to what I've done before. I'm aware of that, and I just want to get outside for a walk and don't feel pain, to be honest. I don't want to worry that like I have to put catheter or I have to use the restroom, you know, like I don't feel it, I need to check. I don't want to worry that I cannot eat certain foods because it's gonna hurt me. I don't want to think about painkillers. I talked to my friend, I said, like, you know, I would love to go for a walk with you like for a few hours and don't think about anything. Just enjoy. And he said, yes, that's when you start to appreciate small things. And I always did. I always told my girlfriend, you have legs, you have arms, you're good to go. Like, it's all fine, you're healthy, you know, nothing to worry about. And unfortunately, nowadays, people caught up with their shit so much as they think about, like, very meaningless things, you know. They pay attention to this small situations, they don't really matter. And I felt like I wasn't like that. And now, like, after this happened, of course, I appreciate it even more, like going for a walk. I don't know, going out to the restaurant, like spending time with family, of course, number one. Spending time with the girlfriend, even though like I'm a very annoying person right now with like all my complications. I know how heavy it is for others around me. I'm aware of that, and I'm trying to make it as smooth as I can. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. It's life, you know, you cannot be perfect all the time. And yeah, like all what I want, like, you know, champion, not champion, just get back to training and enjoy it once again. Doesn't matter how it's gonna be. Afterwards, I have an excuse. I was in an accident, big as accident.